Thank you very much for joining me today for a Paper Flourish craft video. My name is Julie and I'm going to make a wedding card using visible image stamps. These are new in store at Paper Flourish. We have them on our online store as well, paperflourish.com.au. The stamps I'm using to make the card: the wedding day stamp, which has the sentiment for the front of your card and also the verse to go on the inside of the card. And I'm also going to use the 99% chance of wine stamp. So I'm going to use some of these. I'm not going to make it a wine card. Instead, we're going to make it a champagne bubbly card. So I'm just going to pop those to the side for the moment. Starting off with, and I'll just manage to drop the stamp. There we go. Starting off with some Lavinia white Multifarious cardstock, and this is around about 1/4 of an A4 sheet is what I've chosen to use. And I'm just going to get some colour onto the front of the card by smushing the Victorian Velvet Distress Oxide ink onto my mat, watering it down just with my spray bottle. You'll see it react with the water, and then we're going to smush that onto the card front. That easy. See how when I spray that with the water, oxidizes with the water, and now I can pick that up onto the front of my card. So I'm just going to, it's as easy as doing this. I don't want it to be all even. I want it to be a little bit like that, a little bit different. This now wipes off my craft mat with the baby wipe, and I'll give that card a dry with the heat tool. Now, any of your Distress Oxides you can use in that way. As you can also, the Lavinia Elements ink pads will work the same way for you. Just holding it down here, it just stops it bunching up quite, buckling up quite so much. Won't take long to dry. And I like the way the oxides give that sort of chalky matte finish. It's really nice for your background. That didn't take long, did it, to do that background? I want to make sure it's really dry because I do want to do some embossing onto the card today. That should do it. Okay. Now I'm thinking of having the card in this direction. What's that? They call that landscape, isn't it? That landscape direction. And I'm going to start by, this is from the 99% chance of wine stamp set. I'm just going to get the glass to begin. So I'm thinking for our wedding card of having two glasses sort of coming in towards each other. Then we're going to have some bubbles coming out of the top. I'm just going to pop this onto the smallest Lavinia acrylic board. Now I want to get an idea of sort of where center of the card is. This card is 5.5 inches long, so around about 2 3/4. I'm just going to put a tiny little dot there, so that gives me just an idea. It's going to help me when I'm just trying to make sure the wine glasses aren't too much off center. Versafine Clair Nocturne, the black ink pad, pigment ink. Let's ink that stamp up. I'm going to have them towards each other but not completely next to each other. I'm going to go right down near the base of the card to give time for those, give the chart room for the bubbles to come up. There we go. So even their wine glasses are cool, visible image. Their stamps are incredible. So much variety in them. Now this is going to be the tricky bit, to try and have this kind of mirroring the other one. I can see my little center point there. I reckon we're going to go with that and cross our fingers and hope for the best. Hold it down, let the ink settle. There we go, we've got our two wine glasses. That's not too bad. All right, you can see where I'm going now with my wedding card, I imagine. Now this stamp set has these funny little bits like this. And what they are, it's like the bubbles coming out of the glass. So we've got the two, I've got the two of them here. So I'm kind of thinking of having one this way and then the other one coming out like this. It might overlap a little bit, but that's okay. So for the bubbles, I'm going to emboss these, I think. Give it a go. So I'm going to stamp them with the Versamark embossing pad, watermark stamp pad, which is clear. And then I'm going to emboss with, I just think, Bubbly embossing powder. If you've got champagne, it's got to be with a Bubbly embossing powder, I reckon. So will I do that, or will I do it with the black? No, I'm going to do it with the Versamark. Let's give it a try. Let's have some. Now, I don't think I've even used this. I don't think, have I opened it yet? Nope. I'm just going to quickly open my embossing powder. I've had this one for a while, but haven't actually used it yet. So let's give it a try today. But I figure, well, if it's got a name called Bubbly, it must look like Bubbly, I reckon. We're about to find out, everyone. So I'm going to, where's my acrylic plate? Let's start with the larger one, which is this one over here. So I'm going to pop that there. I've got a piece of paper all ready to go, folded in the middle. I've got my embossing powder ready to go. Versamark ink pad, the clear ink pad. Let's just get the Murphy hair off the card. So I'm just going to say this is, it's a sticky ink pad that stays dry, stays wet for quite a while, so you can get that embossing powder onto it. So I've inked that up. Pop that into our glass. Stamp it on there. Here we go. All right. Bubbly embossing powder, which doesn't want to open. Oh, Bubbly. I'll wait a moment. I'll just get the lid off this Bubbly embossing powder. There we go. So now let's bring this sheet in here. And let's pop the Bubbly on there. Flick it away. Ooh. You see that? So it's not a solid stamp. It's going to look like the champagne is fizzing out of the glass. Now I'm going to heat that before I stamp the second one. So let's bring the heat tool over and let's see how this looks. Here it goes. Oh, it's nice and shiny. I'll bring it up to the camera in a moment so you can see it better. It's sort of like a gold, shiny, bubbly. I like that embossing powder. Okay, that's all settled. So let me bring that up a bit closer so you can see it. See what's happened? So it looks like the champagne's coming out of the glass, doesn't it? Nice embossing powder. Okay. All right, so that's the first one. So let's get the other bubbles. This one's a little bit different, so this one's going to come out sort of like this. Inking up with the Versamark ink pad. And let's position it in the glass. That should be right. Okay, let's check this one out. Bring across the piece of paper. Let's get the Bubbly happening as well. Shake it away. There we go. And we've got the other one there. And I'll just pour this straight back in so I don't spill it everywhere. It's a very pretty embossing powder, this one. You can tell I didn't have a practice run first because I hadn't even opened the Bubbly embossing powder yet. All right, let's heat that up, make that all nice and shiny as well. You could use this for an engagement as well, couldn't you? It could be an engagement card, anniversary card. All right. I think that's all embossed. So now we've got our champagne coming out of the glasses. Looks good, doesn't it? See, it's quite shiny and shimmery. It's got like sort of like almost like white gold that's come out like a white gold colour. Okay, so we've got our Bubbly on there. We've got our glasses with their bubbly coming out. All right. So now I'm going to get the wedding day sentiments, the wedding day stamp. Here it is here. So on your wedding day, challenge is going to be working out where I can actually fit this now. Probably should have thought about that first. On your wedding day, let me move that up so you can see what I'm doing. Got it on my Lavinia acrylic plate. I reckon we'll be able to pop that there across the top still. I think that will work right in the centre. That's going to look pretty nice. There's some other little splotchy bits like this. We might see if we can have a bit of fun with that in a moment as well on the card. But let's do the on your wedding day one. I'm just going to do this in the black, the Nocturne Versafine Clair. At this point I better not stuff this, had I? To doing all that embossing. So right at the top of the card, trying to get it right in the centre. Here we go. And there we go, on your wedding day. Looks cute, doesn't it? So I'm just going to have a look and see whether if there's anything else I could add from that other wine stamp set. There's the little splats are cute. Here the little dots, little circle. Oh, I'm not sure. What do you think, everyone? I think we might maybe just leave it like that. I think that might be enough. I think if I try and add a bit more to it, it might look a bit overdone. And I said that sort of says all we need to. On your wedding day, we've got our wine glasses happening. But on this wedding day stamp, of course, we've got the verse to go on the inside of the card. Now, I've prepared here already. I did get this ready. I've made up a card. And then I've cut out a mat out of the rose gold mirror cardstock, which we do have in store. And I think if I pop it on there, I think that's just going to finish it off. So let me do that now, and then we're going to stamp the sentiment into the card as well. Double-sided tape there. Quite an easy but cute card for some romantic occasion. So the stamp set's kind of more about wine, but I thought it could work on a card like this. Some of the sentiments on that 99% chance of wine stamp set are magic. I love it. Wine, because being an adult is hard. It's not that hard, is it? It gets challenging at times, but it's all right. Wine, today's forecast, 99% chance of wine. I do like that. Okay, so let's stick this onto the front of our card. Leaving that nice border of the rose gold mirror card around the edge. I will list everything that I've used in the comments for the video. All right, so that's our card. I think that looks like a really nice wedding day card, doesn't it? Pretty cool. So the last detail is to pop the verse on the inside. I'll read it out to you. We all dream of a fairy tale ending, finding that perfect one, and now that you have found each other, your lives have truly begun. That's sweet, isn't it? And that's what I love about these stamp sets that they've got. So there's, for all occasions, happy birthday, there's a whole lot of different ones, but not only do they give you the sentiment for the front of the card, they give you the verse to go on the inside, which is not easy to find in stamp sets. We do have the Phil Martin stamps in store, and they have some verses to go on the cards, but it is so hard to find, and we get asked for it all the time in store. So when I saw these, I thought, aha, here we go. You can see these stamps are such a great quality. They ink up, they stamp beautifully. I'm just going to do that in case I knock that with my finger. Again, I'm just using your Versafine Clair Nocturne to do that. Make sure I've got this the right way. And here's our Lovely verse to go on the inside of the card. You could do it if you're worried about stamping it and stuffing it at this point, which I was a bit worried about. You can get inserts to go in the card, paper inserts, and you could have stamped it on there. But that's worked out no problem at all. So we've got our complete card, wedding day, and we've got our lovely verse in the middle. The only thing left is for a wedding you're going to write your own words in there as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Keep watching for lots more videos using these amazing visible image stamps. Thank you. Bye.